Thank you for tuning in to our video to launch today's professional development, brought to you by the Westlake Charter Tech Team. In alignment with this year's focus on Universal Design for Learning, or UDL, the Tech Team is knocking down barriers with UDL tech practices. We had that really cool bowling theme. So today we're going to talk about removing or knocking down barriers using tech tools. Just to prove that we could, we decided to use this video as a tech tool to knock down a barrier that we ran into today. Today, the library is unavailable for our professional development due to the book fair, so we decided to use some cool technology to knock down that barrier. Hey everybody, thanks for playing along. Now, let's set the stage. For several years, our teaching teams at Westlake Charter have worked to create benchmark assessments so that we know exactly where our students fall on the learning continuum. And as incredible as the benchmarks are, we all kind of recognize that assessments by themselves aren't what will improve student achievement. But the information we get from well-crafted assessments are gold when it can be used to inform instruction. So, this year, as we launch these benchmarks, we've made a commitment to getting back to professional development focused on one of our favorite topics, instruction. So, with this in mind, we've launched the year with a conversation around universal design for learning. Because when we design instruction to knock down barriers for any group of students, it can improve instruction for all students. So the UDL guidelines are a great way to organize our practices. Rather than saying, hey, try this instructional practice, it's really useful. We can now look at the guideline and say, hey, try this instructional practice that offers voice and choice to recruit interest. It will really help if you have students who are struggling with the barrier of staying engaged. So every classroom and every teacher on campus has some incredible practices to share. And to be honest, it will take time for us to understand the UDL guidelines well enough to categorize each individual practice, but we feel that sharing amazing instructional practices between one another and trying to demonstrate how these practices remove barriers for students based on the UDL guidelines will really help us all become more familiar with the language of UDL. So, today, the tech team would like to invite you to attend some sessions that are each designed to remove barriers that your students may be experiencing in your classroom, and each session will introduce tech tools to remove these barriers as defined by the UDL guidelines. So before we get started, we have to meet the team.
Hey, do you want to help students sustain their effort and motivation while you might be meeting with small groups during independent work? Come learn about independent playlists, a time where students can rock slides, Google Docs, Flipgrid, and be super engaged and motivated during times of independent work.
Hey, do you have students who don't know what to do with the feedback that you give them? Well, come check out my session. We're going to talk about how to write effective feedback that creates transfer so the kids will take that feedback and do something with it. And then we'll be taking a look at a tech tip inside of Google Classroom. Hope to see you there.
Do you have a student who lacks motivation, or is confused on what the desired outcome is, or doesn't know their real levels? Come to our session where we'll show you multiple tools where you can goal set and give feedback.
Do you have students who struggle expressing themselves using one type of communication? They may be great at writing, but not at speaking, or great at speaking and not writing. Class Dojo Portfolios allows students multiple means to express themselves within one app.
Do you have middle school age students who sometimes struggle with the writing process? The barrier is they have a complex thought in their mind, but they have a hard time getting it down on paper?
We have a tech tool for you,
WeVideo,
to help bridge the thinking process into the writing process.
Do you have a student who struggles using traditional tools, like with their cutting skills, staying organized, or not knowing what to do next? We have a tech tool for you, Google Slides.
Okay, explorers, at 2:10 p.m. today, report to your first learning session. Engage, learn, have fun. And then between sessions, we'll have a 10-minute passing period, and after the second session, we'll all round up in the cafeteria for a debrief. Okay, let's go bowling, and as always, let's explore!